Dear Mohanji, warm pranams to you. Can you kindly tell us what eternity is?
Eternity is the nature of life. Eternity, Ananta, is the nature of existence. Your soul is eternal. World is eternal. Universe is eternal. Parabrahma is eternal. So there is a continuous flow. There is a continuous existence happening, which we may not understand, because actually we look at day and night. We look at time. Time changes, day changes, season changes. So amongst all these changes, there is a thread of eternity. These changes makes us believe that everything is fragmented, but in life is not fragmented. Life has a continuity. Everything happens at a particular time, in a particular space, to a particular set of people. The same thing cannot happen at a different place to a different set of people and a different time. So this is all synchronized. It flows through time. Like I said, if you take the next 100 years, even the child born today will not be existing in the world. So life flows like that and soul flows like that. So if you are able to witness the whole thing objectively, without judgment, without censorship, without criticism, you will understand there is a thread running through the entire system. And this is beautiful. Everything is synchronized, everything is planned, and everything has a continuity. At the same time, the free will are expressed as well. That is, the free will created your destiny. Before you had a free will, that became the destiny. Once the destiny takes over, free will doesn't exist. So everything is correlated. As I said, you and the tree outside are related, because when you exhale, the tree inhales. When the tree exhales, you inhale. This is a collaboration, the grand collaboration. So if you are able to see through the whole life, through the whole existence, you will see the beauty of it. And there will be no stress within them. Everything happens for a purpose, and it is perfectly in time. Sometimes we call some things as tragedy, but that is the way it had to end, because actually we created such a destiny. So each and every matter, each and every object, each and every situation has its own relevance, and you cannot change it. Is that clear, or?
Yeah, that's clear, Mohanji.
So what is eternity? Do you understand eternity? It is the essence of existence. Eternity is the essence of existence. Existence is eternity, eternal. Ananta. That is why Mahavishnu lies on the serpent, Ananta. Ananta means eternal. There is no beginning, there is no end. And time is like that, eternal. Space is like that, eternal. Universe is eternal. Your soul is eternal. God is eternal. There is no finite. There is no limit. Everything is limitless. So this is eternity. And that is the essence of existence.
If I may ask you, why did we choose to come to earth with a finite form? I mean, why couldn't we all have God realization while we are born? Why go through all the trial and
error? When you started your journey in the beginning, you were aware of who you are. A small child which is born today is aware of who he or she is, and there is a continuity in that. But unfortunately, as you condition yourself to a finite personality, such as Shahid, and you are the son of these parents, you are in a particular place at a particular time. So your education, all these things conditioned you to a particular level, and that level of conditioning made you feel alienated from the source. You are connected to the source from the top above. The link is already there. The umbilical cord from the Sahasrara never leaves you until death. When death happens, this is disconnected because the body becomes dead body. Then you don't need any connection anymore, because the body goes back to mud. Ash becomes ash. Body is made out of ash or mud or earth. It goes back to mud or earth. So you don't need it. So then the connection is lost. Otherwise you are always connected. And that is the replenishment happening, the energy happening continuously. You were born self-realized, where as a child, or in the beginning of when the journey started, you were Sadashiva. That is why we call Sadashiva Samarambha. We started the journey as eternal bliss. You know, in that stage of Shiva. Shiva stage is eternal bliss stage. We started the journey. In the middle, what happened? While we were traveling, we got contaminated because of wrong understanding. We thought that we are this finite form, we have a duration and this is it, and we forgot the soul aspect. We started believing this is the body and this is the only body, this is me. You know, all these understandings gave you alienation. That is why the disconnection happened. So when we get back, finally merge with the same power of Sadashiva, you are eligible to know the, or you are existing in the bliss state again. So you started as Sadashiva and you are ending up as Sadashiva. But in between there are many lives. You know, these are all for various experiences. If you wanted to experience Earth, you have to have a body. If you wanted to taste an ice cream, you need to have the tongue, you know, to taste it, correct? And you have to have the body to feel, to understand, to experience. So you took the body. Minus the body, you cannot experience what you can do with the body. This is why you chose to have the body.
And should one live the material life for the spiritual, or?
You cannot leave. Where can you go?
Buddha?
You cannot leave anything. You have to handle all the chakras together. That means we say we have 7 chakras which are predominant, like the transformers, which nourishes the cells. We need everything. If you are unstable on the earth, you are unstable up there as well. You know, if you develop the higher chakras only through sadhana, what will you do with your daily life? You should have a balance of chakras. You should have a balanced life. So you should be fine in here and fine there. So there is why there should be a total balance. So you cannot leave something and go away. That is called escapism. And if you escape, what happens? It's only postponement. You have to come back and sort it out at some other point in time. So why you have to delay things? Might as well finish and go. Karma is knit in such a way, it is parallel to time. What you experience at the age 40, you can never experience at the age 20. Right? So it is knit in such a way that it runs parallel to time. You have to go through the time to reach the end. You cannot cut it halfway. And karma is always time. It's related to time, it's related to space, it's related to certain set of people. You know, this is why we call relationships are important. Time is important, space is important, and the configuration of all this is very important.
And we see very few enlightened people today in the world. So is mass
Very few
enlightened people.
Yeah.
So is mass enlightenment possible today?
You see very few enlightened people because they don't come out and tell you they are enlightened. There are many enlightened people and many of them do not even come to the marketplace. They sit elsewhere. They sit in places where you cannot reach them. There are numerous people who are really enlightened, who are existing in a perpetual bliss state. Those who come to the town are usually acharyas, teachers. You know, they are not necessarily enlightened, but they have knowledge. They are imparting knowledge to you. So many of the gurus whom you see around are not really enlightened, even though they may seem enlightened with the beard, with the hair, with the paraphernalia, but they may not be enlightened. I am not saying that they are not enlightened. They could be enlightened, but they are not necessarily enlightened. So you have to have the eyes to see through them. You know, one fundamental benchmark you can use, which is reasonably right, is that is this guru creating fear in you or is he giving you liberation? That means, does he bind you or does he liberate you? If it is binding, the guru is attracting you, is binding you, definitely that man is insecure, he is not enlightened. And if he is helping you to liberate yourself from every level, that is body, mind, intellect, spiritual, in all levels of liberation, slowly, it takes time. Slowly, if the path is that Guru is real, he is enlightened, and he knows exactly what he is doing. So this is one benchmark you can always use. All that glitters is not gold. So don't think that all the people who are coming with the beard and the saffron are really enlightened. See through them. What are they giving you? What are they delivering? If they are delivering liberation, they are real. And not pretentious. See, it's easy to pretend. I can very well tell you I am really enlightened, you come to me. This is also my insecurity, if that is the case. Right? So we have to clearly understand where we stand, whom we are dealing with. So don't just go around touching the feet of all the people with saffron. Understand what you're doing. That is what in Upanishad they say, God has given you the power to understand that a tiger will bite, and you should not go and hug a tiger and tell, I did not know that it will bite. God has given you sufficient brain to understand what is the tiger's qualities, what are the qualities of a tiger. So this discrimination facility which is already there, you should use, and then see through the people, and at least observe. Don't jump, just understand, observe, assimilate. Is this my path? When you are convinced that this is the path, go ahead. If you are not, be bold enough to say, thank you very much, I want nothing of it, and leave. That way maintain your state of liberation. Second question is mass enlightenment possible? Technically yes, but practically no. Technically yes, because actually a set of people who have already established themselves in the higher awareness, and also their karmas have reduced a lot, their desires are almost nil with the earth, can actually float into complete annihilation, enlightenment. But will that happen that way? We have 7 billion people in the world, correct? Each person is a different constitution. There are no two people alike. There are no two people exactly the same. Each person is a different constitution, correct? When we are talking about mass enlightenment, let's say 1,000 people or 500 people or 100 people getting enlightened together, technically yes, of course it is possible, provided we have the same wavelength happening in one location. Is it practical? Not easy. Possible. Definitely possible. Not practical. But second thing, enlightenment is not like a factory product. You have to handle your karmas. There are 3 levels. One is karma. One is dharma to your immediate family. Third is dharma towards the society. These 3 things you are handling every day. Right? When your karmas are exhausted, if you still have dharma, duty towards your family, like putra dharma, pidur dharma, that to the parents, to the children, to the wife, when this exists, can you leave? If you leave, you will have to come back. Correct? Likewise, there is a dharma towards the society, the rent that we pay for the premises. We are using this land, this earth, for experiencing ourselves and expressing ourselves. Experiencing what is around, all the sensory objects, as well as expressing our constitution to the world. When we use these faculties, using these premises, we have to pay the rent. And what rent will you pay? Service to the children of Mother Earth. Take care of them. Plant trees, feed birds and animals, take care of poor people. The way you can. It's not actually spending a lot of money. It is basically doing something so that their life is better off, or trying to give them some improvement in their life. So this is exactly what is expected out of you. You are not expected to spend $1 million because your capacity is what is more important. What is your capacity? You are only expected to do only that much. So karma, okay, we say karma is getting over, desires are less, there is no interest in anything else, and we are ready for liberation. That's fine. What about dharma? Have you taken care of that? Then dharma to the family and dharma to the society. If these things are fine, then you are ready for liberation. And liberation is basically not in doing, but in being. Enlightenment is in beingness, not in doingness. You can do whatever you like. You can do yoga, you can do pranayama, you can do all sorts of sadhanas, but it doesn't assure you, or there is no guarantee that you will be enlightened. You can be enlightened, sure, but without these things also you can be enlightened. What sadhana did Puntanam do to reach Vaikuntha? You know, he was not doing the yogas and pranayams and all these practices. So, what brought him there? Sheer bhakti, sheer surrender. So this is one point. Second thing is that how did Siddhi Baba become enlightened, or Akkalkot Maharaj became enlightened? You know, when the eligibility happens, it falls in place. All you have to do is keep the location ready. That means keep ourselves ready by surrendering, shedding, and annihilating our identities, so that you don't exist, God exists. When you are constantly in that mode, what happens? You become that. I am that. Right? That time you can very well say, Aham Brahmasmi, I am God. You know, otherwise it's just an intellectual journey. Nothing happens. You know, you can tell everybody you are God and people will make fun of you. But when you actually realize I don't exist, only God exists, and then silence will speak, and silence will say, Aham Brahmasmi. I hope I have answered the question.
Thank you, Mohanji.